said I was going to do a shoey and a pan spear first. If the locks didn't hit, if they didn't cash in, well, tied to a Valsa just got submitted in the first round. Didn't see that one coming. 100% confidence, straight out the window. Beer, straight in the pants. Enjoy. This is my second time ever doing one. I was very confident, and I'm going to pay the consequences. Oh. Yeah, full Heineken down there. Yeah, and the shoey. The tie to a Vasa didn't do it. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, bud. Next week, make sure you tune in for the locks because I guarantee you they're not going to miss. Cheers, everyone. Fight Fiend Forecast. I'm Joseph, the host. And yes, I'm back. Back for another one at the Apex, UFC Vegas 89. And last week, you want to talk about last week? We'll talk about last week. We usually don't, but we will. You all seen the shoey there and the pants beer. And I'll take a big dirty shot right now. Oh. Tied to a Vasa. He was looking good until he wasn't. You know, he sliced up Myerson Tybura. I thought we were getting it. And then he got taken down. And we weren't getting it. And he wasn't getting up. He got submitted very first round. Not a good look. Lock of the week tied to a Vasa. I mean, Brian Battle. That was a shitty situation there. He was looking dominant. And then the eye poke, and then they wanted to fight after the fight. I mean, wow. 50% on the picks. I'm not happy about it. Forecast of the week, it was a knockout, not a submission. We were so close in the first round for the submission. And the dog of the week, wow. It hit. Chad and Helliger. That was a very good read there. I'm doing big descriptions on my Discord as well, so there was a huge paragraph here why I thought he was going to win. I did a short video on my Instagram, TikTok as well, so make sure you're following me on all platforms. That was a good read. That was a very good read, and the new prelim prop and the main card props, pretty good reads there, not the main card prop. I'm talking about the prelim prop. Jaffiel Filo, first round submission, that was another good read that I had on this card, but yeah, Isaac Dalgarian, he kind of slipped up there in the third round, ran out of gas. I mean, he lost the fight, I guess. He almost got finished in the third round, so I guess we'll give him the loss there. He's complaining about Christian Rodriguez being greased up, you know, him cheating and stuff. I don't know. He had 7 takedowns. He was looking dominant in the first 2 rounds. Really no excuses. He gassed out in the third. I mean, he had 7 clean takedowns and head control. I don't think the grease had anything to do with it. He kind of gassed out. That was the problem. So we'll take that loss. Josiana Nunes, that was another close fight that went the distance. Some people thought Nunes won. Some thought Chandler won. I'll give it to Chelsea Chandler, but I don't like her. I don't like her as a fighter, to be honest. Like, I was kind of betting with my emotions here. I was going Nunes. I wanted her to win. I wanted her to win by knockout. I was betting with my heart on a lot of these fights. I mean, Kennedy Nzechukwu, I warned everybody on that one. Ovin St. Preux won a decision there. I was pretty low confidence on Kennedy Nzechukwu, and I just don't trust the guy. Not whatsoever. Coming off a first-round knockout loss, I don't love it. Ovin St. Preux, he's 41. He has something to prove here. He had something to prove there. I mean, he fought pretty hard. He looked decent. He had good cardio. He survived after round 1. Proved everyone wrong. Kennedy didn't look like he wanted to be in there. I don't know what was going on there. To be honest, it looked a little sketchy. Like, Kennedy looked usually better than that. That was Kennedy's worst performance that I've ever seen him fight versus Ovin St. Preux's best performance in the last 5. So whatever was going on there, I called it though. I didn't want to bet it. Didn't want to lay 6-1 on Kennedy Nzechukwu. Definitely didn't want it on my parlays. So that was another good read. Just a bunch of unfortunate events. Corey McKenna getting finished in the first round. Didn't see that coming. Holobaugh losing a decision. Like, all over the card, there was just upsets. But we can take a lot of positives away. Like I said, Chad and Helliger, first fight of the night, underdog of the week, looked very good. Jaffe Alfilo, my first lock, looked incredible. Macy Chason, Mike Davis, and we were telling people to stay away from Kennedy Nzechukwu, so we can pull some positives away, but I'm pissed off. I thought I'd be able to find some spots on this card coming up, and to be honest with you, this card's pretty stinky. Like this card here, I'm not making content up for it. I'm going to run through these picks quick. I don't really care about this fight night. I'm not looking to invest very much. I didn't even look at the odds before I made my picks for Patreon. And now I got, 5 underdogs? I got 6 low confidence and 5 medium confidence, only 2 high confidence picks on this entire card. It's a snooze fest of a card. The best fighter is Billy Quarantillo, and the main event is Amanda Ribas and Rose Namajunas. Please smash the like button and suplex the subscribe button if you're new. You're just tuning in. I mean, it's not the week to be new and just tuning in. You know, I'm not going to have that much energy on this card compared to my other videos. I don't even have content made up, like I said, but, you know, next week's going to be better. I'm not investing much bankroll at all. 4 to 5 bets max. And you guys will probably know who they are because I got to give you a prelim prop, a main card prop, a forecast of the week, a lock and dog eventually. So I'm going to do another video Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure which day it's going to be, so stay tuned, forecasters. We're going to try to stay awake during this card and make some money if we can. The bookies are probably going to win this one. A lot of big underdogs. I'm taking 5 underdogs, 6 underdogs, like I said. Like, we're going to try to be smart with our money, see if we can profit some money, and have some fun here. Have a shot. I already had one. And first up, we're taking a look at one of my most favorite fights on the card. We got Mohammed Usman and Mick Parkin. Mick Parkin's 8-0, but he won his last fight by a decision. The one before that by a decision to Jamal Pogues. And before that, on the Contender Series, he got the rear naked choke, and Mohammed Usman lost his last fight by rear naked choke. And that was to 5-1 Brandon Sales. So the best way for Mick Parkin to win this fight is probably sinking the rear naked choke. But Mohammed Usman doesn't really have much of a neck. He's training hard to kill Cliff FC. Won the Ultimate Fighter against Zach Paga, showed his power, but his last 2 fights, he's coming off 2 decisions as well. 4-0 Junior Tafa, who is a very good striker, just gassed out in that fight, to be honest, and got taken down and controlled. And then in Usman's last fight, he did pretty well the same thing to Jake Collier, and he had success striking as well. He's going to have more power. It's just going to be control time on the board for Mohammed Usman in this fight, unless the refs want to keep it standing, and Usman can maybe search for a knockout. I think he will have more power in this fight. He's an underdog. I mean, it's a low confidence pick for me. It's a heavyweight fight. Anything can happen here. And like I said, Mick Parkin, his path to victory would be the submission. That was how Usman lost his last fight. He's going to try to take him down. He's a wrestler. If Mick Parkin really is good and he's a decent prospect in the heavyweight division, he'll find a submission. But if not, man, more power on the feet goes to Mohammed Usman. I'm siding with the underdog in this fight. Low confidence. Usman's going to be 6 years older, have a little bit more experience. Like I said, he's training at Killcliff FC. He's in there with some pretty decent guys. Mick Parkin on the other side, still in England, training with the Dungeon BJJ and Team Fish Tank. I mean, I don't think that's going to cut it against the motor in this fight. I'm going underdog, and we're on to the next fight. Trying to run through it quick because I don't have much confidence in this entire card. I know I was going with an underdog in the last fight. I'm not telling you to bet it. Not sure if I'm even going to bet it yet myself. But in this fight here, I like this favorite. Andre Lima, 7-0 against another undefeated fighter, Igor Severino. And originally his last name was De Silva, but now he's going with Severino there. They're both from Brazil. They're both undefeated. This is a highly anticipated fight. Flyweight division. Gotta go with the favorite. It's going to be a close fight. I think Lima edges it out. His last fight on the Contender Series was against a 14-1 opponent. And if you look at the side of Igor, he fought an 8-1 opponent on the Dana White Contender Series. He found the finish, though. 9-1 opponent, found the finish. 6-5 before that, though. And 5-0 and 2-2. So, not the highest of level, but he's finishing guys. Like, he's a finisher. On the Contender Series, he found the finish, 8-1. But Andre Lima, that 14-1 opponent, Rickson Zemden, was very tough. Andre Lima was looking very good on the feet. He's very composed, very technical, great fighter IQ. I think he just edges this one out. He's a rightful favorite. And before the Contender Series, he beat a guy that was 7-2, 4-2, 4-0, 2-0. Yeah, like not the most confidence, to be honest. Like, he hasn't fought the highest level of competition either. He probably edges it out, though. He shouldn't be the highest on the parlays, let's be honest. Like, we don't know much about either fighter here. I'm going to agree with the odds, though. The favorite should win, Andre Lima. That fight on the Contender Series against the 14-1 opponent, though, might just be playing tricks with us, and the underdog could cash. So this is another one that's low confidence for me on the picks. And my picks are on Patreon. They're called the Platinum Picks with the confidence levels, method of victory, and the round outcome. And it's only $5 a month on my Patreon for each and every fight card. I got NHL bets as well. And I did lose some money on the fights last week, but I made it right back on an NHL bet last night, $30 for $330. And it was a damn good parlay that I made up for the Chicago Blackhawks, Connor Bedard. So not only can I bet on fights, I can bet on hockey too. So we made our money right back. And next up, we're going to see if we can craft something up here with this women's fight. Montserrat, Rendon, and a debuter, Dariya Zheleznyakova. I don't know if I pronounced that right. That's a tough last name to pronounce. She just fought a girl that was 5-3, won by knockout, and before that, she was knocked out to a girl that was 4-0. Before that, she won a decision to a girl that was 7-5. She's actually a slight favorite in this fight, and that's blowing my mind here because Rendon, she just beat Tamiris Vidal 7-1 by a split decision. She's a grinder. Montserrat Rendon is, and I think she can get this one done as an underdog for sure. She's 35 years old. That's not great. That's not a great age, to be honest. Only 6-0. She's lacking experience. But that win in her debut against Tamiris Vidal, that's enough for me to take her as an underdog here against a girl that just hasn't fought very good competition, and I have no clue why she's the favorite. Right? Haven't seen much on her yet. She hasn't been looking good, to be honest. I don't think a finish is going to be live in this fight. I'll play it by a decision for the underdog here. You know, I'm not loving the age, but I'm going to side with her. She has a lot of grit. She proved it in her last fight where I was very high on Tamiris Vidal. I'm going to side with her this fight. She's a 240 underdog. Like, I'm not going to bet on a women's favorite that just beat a girl that was 5-3 and they got knocked out before that. I'll tell you that right now. So, underdog or nothing here, especially in this women's fight. I just don't want to break this one down any longer. It's gonna be a boring one, and hopefully the underdog wins and we can make some money on it. Like, fucking Christ. And next up we got Steven Nguyen and Jarno Errens. And I was going with Errens originally. This is Steven the Ninja's debut after fighting for his third time on the Contender Series. Finally got it done against AJ Cunningham, who's 10-2. I mean, he looks pretty good. He's training at Fortis MMA, has a great coach, great gym, training with Jeff Neal all the time. I'm going Steven the Ninja with low confidence. I wanted to go with Jarno Errens so bad. He lost his last two fights, but to Tae-Woon Choi, who's 10-6, and 10-2 William Gomes, who I'm not a fan of, and that was a majority decision loss and a unanimous decision loss to 10-6, Tae-Woon Choi. You know, he has some power, showed it in those fights, had a knockdown in one of them, but I gotta believe he's gonna be one step behind in this fight against Steven Nguyen, who's been well trained at Fortis MMA. And before his Contender Series fight, he fought in the Contender Series 2 years before that, so he was inactive, right? He was pushing hard to get to the UFC. He finally got here, so he's gonna be pretty motivated in his first debut fight. I think he just gets it done on the judges' scorecards against Jarno Errens, who is tough, very durable. He's going to be tough to finish. On the feet, he might be getting hit a lot, but he should survive, and it's going to go to the judges' scorecards where they're going to side with the Fortis MMA fighter, Steven the Ninja. He's going to look like a ninja. He's going to be super accurate, working at range, and I don't think he's going to get tagged too much in this fight. He's going to be defensively sound and get it done. I'm going with the favorite here. It's going to be underdog favorite, underdog, favorite, and an underdog next. Nope, this is a very close price fight, though, between Miles Johns and Cody Gibson. Cody Gibson got beat up to Brad Katona. Why are they giving him another shot? Miles Johns just got his last fight against Dan Argueta changed to a no contest, I see. There was some substance in his supplements, something like that. I don't know what was going on. Didn't look deep into it. Besides all that, he should win this fight. He beat Vince Morales, who's only 15-6, not very good. Anderson DeSantos, Kevin Natividad, finished him with an uppercut in the third round. He's finding a lot of third-round finishes here. And he also got finished to John Castaneda by an arm triangle in the third round. He wins by finish, by his uppercuts, his power, or he gets finished by an arm triangle choke to John Castaneda. He also got caught in the second round to Mario Batista. And like I said, that fight just got changed to a no contest. And now he's fighting Cody Gibson, who's very tough and is not going to get finished. That's for sure. So Miles is going to need 15 minutes of cardio. And that's probably why it's priced so close. You know, the motivation spot for Cody Gibson as well, right? They're giving him another chance. Comes in here. He gets the win. He gets to stick around for a bit. He's going to be pretty hungry. And besides all that, like, he lost the decision to Ray Borg as well, unanimous. And Adrian Diaz got submitted to him, 10-4. Like, his best win recently, you know, he was looking good on the Ultimate Fighter. 2 first-round finishes there, but on the regional scene, he beat a guy that was 15-9 in the third round. He beat an old John Dodson by a decision. And I don't think he's beat that good of guys. He got cut from the UFC after losing to Douglas Silva de Andrade by a decision. He also lost to Aljamain Sterling by a decision. He's very tough, very durable. I don't think he's going to get finished to Miles Johns. He could even pull the upset here, but I don't see it happening. It's going to have to be on the ground by a submission, probably in the third round after Miles Johns gasses out. But I could actually see that. I could. God damn, I could see that. So if Cody Gibson gets that third round submission, I called it. I could see it for sure. Miles Johns could gas out. Gibson's going to be grinding for 15 hard minutes. I already know that. He's going to want to win this fight. He's going to be searching for a finish as well. He's not going to want to be in a close fight and have it go to the judges' scorecards. He's going to want to finish the job here. I got to go with Miles Johns, though. I'm going with the Fortis MMA guys. I think he's just going to get it done here by a decision. And that's 5 decisions in a row that I'm predicting here with low confidence. So probably going to be wrong. Don't feel bad to fade me or let me know in the comments that my picks are terrible this week. Okay, because these are just my reads. These are my early predictions. And I already know I have low confidence and I'm not doing much with it. I know at the start of this video I told you guys, don't do anything with this card. We're not going heavy. 4 to 5 bets max. We're going to come back on Thursday and Friday and give it the prelim prop, the main card prop, the locks, and the forecast of the week. But we got a lot of work to do. And so far, this card is a stinker. And I don't mind if you guys just miss this card and don't bet on it, because that might save you guys some money. Let's just be honest here. Next up, we got Julian Erosa. And here's another underdog for you against Ricardo Ramos. Ramos just lost his last fight. He looked terrible. And he has been missing weight, looking like a clown. I don't like him very much. I'm going to let my emotions speak here. Julian Erosa should finish him maybe the exact same way Charles Jourdain just finished him. When Jourdain and Erosa fought, Erosa submitted him. So when you've seen Jourdain go out there and make easy work of Ramos on the ground, what is Erosa going to do, right? If the fight gets to the ground, I think Erosa can sink in the submission and get this done. I have medium confidence in this. No, I have low confidence for a first round finish. The knockout is live too because of the knees. He can always throw a crazy flying knee in there, but his chin is not good. So a lot of people think Ramos is going to get the KO here. Julian Erosa coming off 2 knockout losses to Alex Caceres and Fernando Padilla, who's on this card. You know, Maybe the knockout's live. Maybe Ramos runs through him, finds the chin. But before that, man, he had a decision win to Hakeem Dawodu. That was a very good win there when it went to the scorecards. He could win this one as well. Hakeem Dawodu, I had a lot of confidence in him in that fight, and he couldn't get it done against Erosa. So Erosa's on and off. He could be on in this fight. Split decision to Steven Peterson doesn't look good, but like I was saying, that Darce choke to Charles Jourdain, that's pretty impressive. Now, Jourdain just submitted Ricardo Ramos in the very first round, made easy work of him. Maybe Julian Erosa can do the same thing. Juicy J coming off 2 losses, but those 2 losses are by knockout. His chin is not great, and it's not a great fighter to have confidence in or put your money on. That's why it's a low confidence pick for me. We're on to the next. And next up, we're taking a look at Kurt Holobaugh and Trey Ogden. Trey Ogden's coming in here as a favorite. Kurt Holobaugh, 225 underdog. I'm going Kurt Holobaugh. I had him last fight. Dog of the week. I'm going with him again. This could be my dog of the week. I have a lot of underdogs at this point. Like I said, I have 5, 6, maybe more. Seems like every fight I have an underdog in, every second fight. Kurt Holobaugh, how can you not pick him as an underdog? His grit and determination in his last fight was incredible. He found the finish. And before that, on The Ultimate Fighter, he was showing that he wanted to be back in the UFC. And now that he's here, he's fighting Trey Ogden, who, yes, was in a premature stoppage in his last fight where he was sinking a submission. But I think Kurt Holobaugh has good submissions of his own. Determined enough to get out of any submission attempts. And on the scorecards is going to do enough to win. He's going to prove to the judges that he deserves the win. Gets his hand raised here with more volume, more takedowns, stopping any takedowns, threatening the pressure here. He's going to be going forward. He's not going backwards. I think he's getting this one done here. 4 wins in a row for Kurt Holobaugh. He's looking damn good. Now his last 3 wins all come by a finish. He's live for the finish in this fight as well. Trey Ogden is coming off 2 decision losses. 1 to Jordan Leavitt by split. But he's also been submitted 3 times. Never knocked out. Maybe this is the first time he gets knocked out. Maybe he gets submitted once again. I don't know. Pretty high confidence in this underdog, though. And, I mean, Kurt Holobaugh, you gotta agree, man. He's gonna be hungry. Back in the UFC. Fucking looked damn good against Austin Hubbard. Found the finish. I think he has something to prove. Trey Ogden, Marathon MMA, those boys, they're pretty decent as well, right? They have some grit, determination, and heart. But if this goes to the scorecards, I gotta think my boy Kurt Holobaugh's getting it done. He has the better experience, in my opinion. He's 20-7, and Trey Ogden is 16-6. Yet Kurt Holobaugh is an underdog in this fight. Kind of blows my mind. Topology agrees. 65% are going Holobaugh. 63% by a decision. That could be wrong, though. This guy is a finisher. Either way, the underdog price, I'm looking to smash it. Let's go. Kurt Holobaugh for another win here in the UFC. And next up, we got a bantamweight fight between Louis Pajuelo and Fernando Padilla. And Padilla fought Erosa. Found the knockout fight there. But in his last fight, I think he got robbed by a unanimous decision to Kyle Nelson. Maybe he didn't get robbed. I kind of forget that fight. But, you know, he's a very good striker. Accurate. Has high volume. And if you can't take a shot, you're going down. Like I said, he knocked out Erosa. Erosa doesn't have a great chin. That's why I'm worried in his fight against Ricardo Ramos, right? He could get tagged very quick and the fight can be over. He can get tagged any point in the fight and it can be over because Erosa's chin is glass. But low confidence, whatever. We're talking about this fight now. We got Padilla, who is going to be a good striker, but he's fighting an 8-1 guy coming off the Contender Series who has power, look good against Robbie Ring, 6-0, who's 23 years old. 23 years old, right? He won in the Contender Series 6 months ago against a 23-year-old. Like, I don't really care, man. Like, that's a decent win, all right? He's an underdog in this fight, right? He's not priced as a favorite. Bookies know Padilla is going to edge this one out, hopefully. Just a year ago, Louis fought a guy that was 3-3 and won a decision there. And then a year and 5 months ago, beat a guy that was 5-2 by knockout. And then beat a guy by knockout that was 2-0. Level of competition is not very good. And Padilla, before the UFC, beat a guy that was 9-3 by knockout, 8-2 by split decision, and lost a unanimous decision to Spike Carlisle, 5-2. Padilla has a better experience. This is a high confidence pick. He's the rightful favorite. Another Mexican on this card with that Mexican grit. Rendon has that Mexican grit. We got to go with the Mexicans, get that revenge from UFC Mexico City, and I'm looking to lock in Padilla here, guys and girls, because I don't have many high-confidence picks on this entire card. We got to do something. Padilla, after that loss, he should be hungry and get this win here by a decision. I'm not quite sure why so many people think Pajuelo is getting this knockout. 70% of the 60% think he's getting the KO. I don't think it's happening. Padilla's too sharp, too accurate, and he's defensively sound as well. He should stay out of trouble and get this one done by a decision. We're on to the next fight. And next up, we're not wasting your time with this one. This is another high-confidence pick, the second high-confidence pick, and the last high-confidence pick on this entire card. We got Billy Quarantillo and Youssef Zalal. And I told you, the best fighter on this card at the start of this video is Billy Quarantillo. And clearly Billy Q is my pick in this fight. He's one of the best fighters on this card. Youssef Zalal is coming back to the UFC here. He just fought on the regional scene 6 months ago against an opponent that was 0-0, debuting. And now he's back in the UFC against Billy Quarantillo. Like, this is the lock of the week. Anybody with a brain knows that this is a lock of the week. Damon Jackson beat him by a decision 7 months ago, and Billy Q lost to Edson Barboza with that knee 11 months ago. Youssef Zalal's not coming in here and knocking him out. Zalal is tough and durable, but he's going to get dominated. Alex Hernandez got knocked out, and Gabriel Benitez got knocked out to Billy Quarantillo. So I'm not even totally against the finish for Billy. I mean, he's going to be one of the best fighters on this entire card. He's going to dominate. Knockouts totally live in the second and third round, but Ilia Topuria couldn't finish Youssef Zalal. Ilia Topuria is now the champion, looking dominant. And Zalal, although he just beat a guy that was 0-0, he beat a guy that was 9-3 and 6-2, finished both those guys by knockout. He's going to be aggressive, looking to strike here, and Billy could find a counter shot and finish the job off. I mean, if not, he wins it by a decision. It's a high-confidence pick, and he's a lock of the week. His only 2 losses in the last 5 were to Edson Barboza and Shane Burgos. Burgos just beat him by a decision. Billy Q is clearly lined up in this fight to win. Youssef Zalal is coming back off the regional scene. UFC matchmakers want Billy Q to get back-to-back wins because he has not had back-to-back wins since 2020, 4 years ago. This is a company guy that they want to get back-to-back wins. Lock in Billy Quarantillo right now on the money line with Fernando Padilla. Those are the 2 locks. Let's go. Peyton Talbot coming in as a favorite. Bookies think very highly of this guy. And Cameron Simone is getting doubted here. I mean, he just lost to Christian Rodriguez, where he kind of showed us that he's not that good. He's not that good, guys. I thought he was, but he makes some questionable decisions. And he isn't the most defensively sound, right? Before his loss to Christian Rodriguez, he fought Terrence Mitchell, a layup. He also got tested in that Mana Martinez fight where he went to a majority decision. I had Mana Martinez. I thought Mana won the fight. Wasn't the case. Simone squeaked it out. And if this goes the distance, I don't think he's squeaking it out. Peyton Talbot is very good on the ground. He's good on the feet. And he's way more composed and calculated in there. He's going to be sharp and accurate. Where Cameron Simone, we've seen him make some mistakes. He's kind of wild. And Talbot is 25 years old. Simone's 23. Simone does have good experience. You know, he's been in the UFC for a little bit. But the power of Peyton Talbot is going to be a little bit too much in this fight. He's looked dominant, 7-0. He wants to keep his record undefeated. And even if this fight goes the distance, which it probably is, more likely than not, I think Peyton Talbot gets his hand raised. He's going to just be the cleaner striker, making less mistakes. I think he's going to be the favored fighter too. I think he's going to be maybe not pressuring Cameron Simone, but when he's countering, just being clean, not getting hit. And then eventually in the second and third round, having more success. I think he's going to be a little bit patient in there. It's going to be a very patient fight between the 2 fighters. I think both of them are going to be very laid back, patient in the first round, feeling each other out, not making any mistakes, trying to be very calculated. And then in the second and third round, one fighter is going to start to have their way. And I think it's going to be Peyton Talbot. He's going to be coming close to a finish potentially, but I think Simone just survives, just holds on, and loses a decision here. Peyton Talbot, I believe in this prospect. He's from Nevada as well. Might be a little bit of biasy for the judges as well if this goes the distance. I got to go with the favorite here, Peyton Talbot. I'm pretty impressed with him on the Contender Series. Cameron Simone looked pretty sloppy in his last fight, and I'm not siding with him here. I'm going on to the next fight. I'm going to do more research before the next video. More tape study as well. I'll have a prelim prop, main card prop, locks, dogs, everything like that on Thursday or Friday night when I do my next video. If you want to join Discord, absolutely free. I post a full description for each prop, and I have them out there early before the video even gets posted. So absolutely free. Join Discord. For $5 a month, you can get access to my Platinum Pick Sheet. I post that on Sunday. So this is Monday night, this video getting recorded. It might be Tuesday, Wednesday before some of you guys are seeing this video. Some of you girls are seeing this video. You just got to pay $5. You get early access to the Platinum Picks. And you can get some good bets in the NHL as well. Look at this Chicago Blackhawks parlay. Connor Bedard, Philip Kurashev for the assist, Bedard for an assist, Blackhawks to win, $30, $322.50. So that's damn good profit. We can make that money on other sports, not just the UFC. So $5 a month is more than generous on top of everything I do for the UFC alone. I try to focus on the UFC, but it's hard not to give you these NHL bets when we're making this much profit. 300 profit in one night sounds pretty good. We got 30 days in the month. I seen some people leave last week and they just missed this bet. So sucks to suck. Don't leave. It's only $5 a month. Are you really that cheap? Come on now. This was $5. And next up we got Edmund Shabazian, the golden boy, and AJ Dobson. Edmund is 1-4 in his last 5 fights. He's coming in here as a favorite, and I think he's going to win it. I'm not that confident because AJ Dobson is 3-2 in his last 5. Just beat Tefan Nachukwi 6-3 though. Are we really that impressed? 2 losses. Armin Petrosian by a decision. Jacob Malkoon by a decision. I am thinking Edmund can win this by a decision or knock him out. AJ Dobson, he's 7-2. Got a submission on the Contender Series against a fighter that's 6-0. Not that high level though, let's be honest. Shabazian is losing to high level guys, and we can be honest there. Anthony Hernandez, 10-2, knocked him out 9 months ago. Nasruddin Imavov knocked him out 2 years ago. He lost a decision to Jack Hermanson, and he got knocked out to Derek Brunson. So, his last 5 fights, he's not doing great. He hasn't been that active. His only win was to Dalcha Lengambula by a flying knee and knockout punches. I mean, that was a year and 3 months ago. I could see something similar, or just a decision win. I mean, I'm not that confident because he's 1-4 in his last 5. He doesn't have much of a reach advantage. He's not that much taller. He's going to be the younger fighter, though. And I don't have a strong read on this fight, but when I look at Edmund Shabazian at being number 37th ranked in the world for middleweights, and then I look at AJ Dobson at 75th ranked, it gives me a little bit of confidence. Just a little bit. A little bit. And we're not going to talk about this fight any longer. I don't want to talk about this card much longer. I'm sure I rambled on more than I should have in spots. I didn't even make any content, so I'm sorry. Could be a long prediction without content, but it is what it is. I'm giving you the picks, my leans. These are my predictions. Last week went 50%, so you could go against me on 50% of these picks. That's cool. Don't really care. I'm not going to invest heavy. Even on the locks, I'm not going heavy on them. This is a card that I'm just going to sprinkle light, have very few bets, and start making content for the next couple weeks. Don't give a shit about this card. We got Carl Williams and Justin Taffa next. And I'm forced into a Justin Taffa play because I had him against Lima, and then his younger brother had to friggin' step in. And now he's stepping in for his younger brother to fight Carl Williams. So hopefully he fucking kicks this guy's ass, because Tafa just looked like shit and got finished to Lima. Justin Badman Tafa better come in here looking like a bad man, looking for that knockout finish and get that revenge for his brother. His brother was supposed to be in this fight. His brother took his fight and got his ass kicked. So the least Justin can fucking do is come in here and give Carl Williams a good ass kicking. He knocked out Austin Lane, who's huge. He had no trouble closing the distance and finding the left hook there. And before that, he knocked out Parker Porter, a big slugger of a heavyweight. Found a counter left there as well, and then found a head kick against Harry Hunsucker. Let's just hope he can close the distance and land that power. Carl Williams, he's a wrestler. He's going to be looking to wrestle. And that's going to be a mistake. You don't want to get caught with a knee or a high kick when you're looking to shoot a takedown against Justin Badman Tafa. That's going to be a bad mistake for you, but we're going to get paid because we're going Justin Tafa, who's a 270 underdog. That's insane. He shouldn't be that big of an underdog. It's a heavyweight fight. Anything can happen. If it stays on the feet, I'm going to have the striker who hits heavier, who has all of his wins in the first round by KO, Justin Tafa. Carl Williams is a wrestler. He beat Chase Sherman by a decision. He beat Lucas Brzeski by a decision. He beat Jimmy Lawson 4-1 on the Contender Series by a decision and got the contract. He hasn't got a finish in his last 3 fights. Please, Justin Tafa, come in here, get revenge for your brother's loss, for him stepping in and getting his ass kicked against Lima, right? If you pulled out against that fight, you better pull up in this fight and get the win. That's all I'm saying. I gotta go underdog here. He better not make me look like an idiot. He might be the dog of the week. It might be a situation where I go high confidence, dog of the week. He comes in there, gets the knockout finish, just like I forecasted, and we get paid. Rose Namajunas against Amanda Ribas. Here we go. Flyweight fight. Rose Namajunas just lost a decision where she broke her hand against Manon Farrow. She looked good. She could have won that fight. The fight before that, she could have beat Carla Esparza. Did she lose those fights? I don't know. She's in the contention of being one of the best fighters in the women's division, and she's in the conversation of being on the decline. Who's right? I don't know. I have no fucking clue. This is a women's fight. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you? Right? I'm going to give you my most confident lean here, what I think is going to happen, but I don't know if that's going to be exactly how the fight goes down here. Rose Namajunas, coming off 2 losses, should be motivated to get the win. She's a favorite. Bookies think she's going to win. And like I said, I don't know if she actually lost her last 2 fights. If she didn't break her hand, she might have been able to beat Manon Farrow. She was constantly pressuring forward, wanting to win the fight. She was looking very good as well. And the judges were definitely biased in France there. Let's remember that. This one's in the Apex. Whole different situation here. Amanda Ribas is wild. Macy Barber found the finish. Had her all bloodied up. Dominated her. That was only 8 months ago. She came back 3 months ago, though, and found a spinning wheel kick and punches against Luana Pinheiro. Very impressive win there, but Rose is too technical and too smart to let something like that happen to her. She was so dominant against Weili Zhang, she actually found a head kick against her. And after the head kick, she beat Weili Zhang by a split decision. 5-rounder. I gotta go Rose. I almost went Rose against Manon Farrow. I wasn't going to chase Thug Rose as an underdog in that fight. In France, in this fight, as a favorite though, different story. I think she does win. Coming off 2 losses, pissed off. She works super hard. She gets this one done. It's a women's fight. Anything can happen. I don't know. Amanda Ribas, I like her a lot. I do like her a lot. I like her very much, you know. But so does every other capper with nuts, right? You can't always go with the best looking fighter, the one that's the most attractive, right? That's not a fair way to give a prediction. That's not a fair way. Thug Rose is the kryptonite of the current champion, Weili Zhang. She's fought the best of the best, and she is one of the best. I still think she's one of the best. And she's going to look good in this flyweight fight. I think she's going to get it done and win by a decision here. 5-round fight. She could find a knockout finish as well. Like I said, she found the head kick against Weili Zhang. No one's seen that one coming. She lost her last 2 fights. Some people want Amanda Ribas to win this fight, I'm sure. I'm just sure of it. It's not happening. I got to go with my girl, Rose Namajunas, the thug for the win all day long here. She's the rightful favorite. 3-1 now for Amanda Ribas. I don't see it. She's too wild. She doesn't have the awareness and fighter IQ that Rose does. Caitlin Chukagian beat Amanda Ribas by a decision, and Thug Rose will as well. So that's it for my predictions, everybody. I got quite a few underdogs. 5 underdogs, 6 low confidence picks, 2 high confidence picks. Be careful with your money. Come back on Thursday or Friday night for the props and parlays show. I'm going to do my best to come up with some free bets, some single bets, and a parlay that's better than last week, because last week was shit. It was terrible. Yeah, we got cooked. I just got to be honest. We got cooked. We got to do better. We must do better. But on this card, I mean, man dear, how in the hell are we going to put anything together? I don't know how. We're going to figure it out, though. And the forecasters that have confidence and that have their most confident prop ready to go midweek at plus money, all what they got to do is put hashtag forecast of the week, comment below in this video their most confident prop at plus money, and I'm going to ride with one of them. I'll make content up. And last week, Dreadstocks had Thiago Moises by submission. He got the knockout. We were so close in that first round. He found the knockout in the third round, but it happens. We could have played it by finish. We didn't, okay? But this week, we have another chance, and we have a new forecaster in the comments that's going to be willing and ready to go. Putting it all on the line for the forecasters, giving their most confident prop at plus money with hashtag forecast of the week, and I'm going to ride with them, and I'm going to look to bet on it as well, as I do each and every week, making the content up, making a short video up, and I can just tell already a bunch of fiending forecasters are ready to go with a high confidence pick. Maybe not, though, because I don't have confidence on this card. I'm praying that you do, though, because I'm going to ride with you. The forecast of the week. Comment below right now. And if you don't have the odds right now, come back later in the week. I'm going to be back on Thursday or Friday for the props and parlay show. So make sure you comment below before that video. I'm going to choose one forecaster's comment just before I record that video. So make sure to get that comment entered below before Thursday night. I want to see more than just Dreadstocks commenting for forecast of the week. I ended the whole video off with the forecast of the week, so there you go. It's going to be a whole different section there for you as well. A nice little timestamp forecast of the week. There should be some comments, but it's a shitty ass card. So make sure you smash that like button, suplex the subscribe button. I at least came on for a video, gave you my picks, and in Discord I'll give you everything for early access. Probably give out the platinum picks this week for free.
What's free? Free is when nobody else can tell us what to be. Free is when the TV ain't controlling what we see.